How close were you to this situation between Brett and Vince? Did Vince confide it to you? I mean, were you right there in the thick of things, or were you hearing things from the sidelines?
No, I was kind of right there in the thick of things, especially on the Vince side. At this time, I was in talent relations, so I was kind of right in the thick of everything, and I was still doing creative.
Did you personally think that Brett would ever really leave?
I hoped he wouldn't. I really did. I hoped Brett wouldn't, but at the same time, looking at the finances, here's a crazy. I never talk numbers, but I'll give you the analogy. When we first started, probably the year before, doing downside guarantees, and we looked at what everyone had, I think that the total budget, the entire budget for everyone on the rosters, was $9 million a year.
Nine.
I
want to spend a minute on that. So $9 million was your downside guarantee driving your entire business.
That was the budget I had to do downside guarantees. Yes.
And I'm not going to put you on the spot. I have too much respect and love for you to do that. But I'm assuming that was, I'm just going to pull a number out of thin air, maybe 30% of the total payout for talent, 50%, 20%. Obviously the guys made more than that. They made more than their downside. Or some of them.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was an average from the previous year's talent pay. So total. We took that and we used that is the budget to do the downside guarantees. Trying to come in under budget.
Sure.
So that you had room, but it was, when you look at it like that was like, holy shit. Especially when deals had already started to be made before you even got involved in it. That it's like, well, wait a minute, you promised this guy $300,000, and those things started getting out, and talent was like, oh, wait a minute, this guy's making this, and a lot of it was rumor and innuendo, but some of it was factual.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the rumor and innuendo has as much of an adverse impact, sometimes more than the actual facts, because that just distorts reality and emotions, and things get out of control.
Yes, and looking at Brett, looking at the top talent and how it all played out, we could have, by doing the deal with Brett, kind of threw that budget way over, and you just have to work with it. You've got to make it work. And I think Vince finally looked at it and said, I can't make this work. We've got to stay in business, and we've got to use those resources for other things. And that's how that decision was made.